Greetings, Miami and beyond. Kevin Krueger, welcome to the Commercial Real Estate Corner. I am in fresh fly threads, if I may say so myself, because I have a special guest today that's in the art community, and that's Victor and Anabel from VAS Art Productions.
Right.
And Victor, introduce yourself and your lovely wife, and then tell us where we met.
Ok, mi nombre es Victor Dominguez. Soy fundador y parte de este equipo de VAS Art Productions y a la vez Anabel Godínez, mi bella y querida esposa. Y a su vez es la manager general de este equipo de VAS Art Productions, ya que estamos nosotros dos, pero somos un equipo de 7 personas en total.
And then we can translate in quick English as well.
Yes. Okay.
So that the not just the audience, but the host understands.
We are a team of 7-8 people.
Okay.
Actually, we are the founders. Victor is the head, the technical and everything. The head of us. I am the administrative, bureaucratic, operating part.
The boss.
So
Finance
we are
and operations. They
yes,
go hand in hand.
we are a mix. I mean, we both
Brains and brains.
exactly.
Yes.
And to be clear, so the audience knows, VAS Art is specializing in fabricating. It's fiberglass.
We
right?
are master
Sculptures,
Yes.
right? Masters
In fiberglass sculptures in different scales.
Right.
Victor came from for us, the best art studio, the Halligan Fine Art Studio.
Yeah. Tell us about the studio that you apprenticed or studied in Little Haiti.
Bueno, Halligan Fine Art para mí fue el principio de algo muy desconocido.
Yes.
Vengo del mundo de las ventas y cuando arribé a Miami nunca imaginé trabajar en las artes teniendo muchos amigos que están en el medio.
The latte, okay.
Traduce.
He came from. I mean, he never imagined that he will be that he should meet this studio. Actually, he's friend of Olivier's daughter, Caroline. So
Right,
they
I
met
read about Caroline.
exactly. So they met. They were friends, and he started with Olivier working and learning and working. He became a specialist, and then for me, it's a master.
And I think what's interesting is this is a French family.
Yes.
That's, I guess, the great-grandfather in the 1880s had worked on expanding the Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
According to
Yes.
Carolina's
Yes.
website. And then they find themselves in Miami, in
Yes.
Little Haiti, of
Yes.
all places.
Yes.
And so that's amazing. So, and Olivier is grandson of the original, or maybe great-great-grandson, right?
It's a dynasty.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
amazing.
say.
They're covering 150 years together.
Yes. Yes.
And you're an extension with VAS now.
Yeah,
Yes. Let's say that.
yeah,
It's an honor.
it's an honor.
You're fresh off the plane from Dubai/Spain, right?
Yeah.
You can tell us a little bit about your travels to Spain as well.
Bueno, hace poco regresé de una gira hacia España y supuestamente iba a ser otra a Dubái, pero bueno, debido a esto no la llegamos a hacer
No, for the conditions.
por lo que estaba aconteciendo.
Exactly.
Y bueno, como digo, regresé hace poco de España de hacer varias contrataciones con clientes, por decirlo, del ámbito de lo que es el lujo.
Design
y el diseño, y a su vez creo que fue muy positivo esta visita de VAS Art Productions en España.
Yes, it's because VAS, inside VAS, we have creation brand that it names Di Lorenzo. That is somebody who is near me, but his projects, his own sculptures in different scales, but also has a leader, like a side project that is for furniture. Design is a design and luxury mix in furnitures. Really high quality that we are expanding, and actually since some clients in Spain were interested, that's why he traveled to
Right.
to present this kind of project.
Right.
Also in Spain, we are doing some. In Europe, we are doing some investments related with the art. We are doing like a art home. Let's say in when Don Quixote, no?
La Mancha.
In La Mancha, when Don Quixote the tells el cuento de Don Quixote. Do you know it? Don Quixote.
The painting?
No,
The book.
It's a book.
Yeah.
A really famous book from Spain. So we always love this kind of history.
I think I know like the movie poster.
It's a tiny guy in a horse
Yes.
with a fat in a.
That's what I imagine.
Yes, that's why. So we are trying to create an art house, to create big sculptures around the mountains and everything.
Lovely.
Because it's a really nice place,
Deserted
calm.
place.
Right.
It's a really safe place. So that's another thing in VAS.
Right.
So
VAS Art Productions is global.
Yes.
Your last flight was from Dubai, and
no. He didn't fly at the end.
He did about
you
Dubai.
weren't supposed to. Okay, so and the reason why this is a little alarming for us now, so you had to cancel that.
Yes.
Because over the weekend we had the U.S. and Israel had attacked Iran, and then Iran started bombing all the allies, and so you skipped, so that Dubai is comparable to Miami in an emerging global city and a lot of luxury. So you had business to conduct in Dubai that you had to postpone.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. And it's similar installation of art sculptures and some of your furnishings.
En este caso, lo que está saliendo es la colección, que es edición limitada, sobre los diseños de unas sillas futuristas que hace VAS Art con De Lorenzo, en este caso, y fue lo que fuimos a presentar allá, nuestro trabajo.
He goes to present the furniture that is like chairs, really nice chairs, comfortable, but as well with a luxury design. That's brand, not the sculptures, because we at the same time we want to get involved here with the conservation of the art.
Mm-hmm.
That actually we find out that cut.
We'll cut it later.
Okay.
Yeah. You're fine. They're a patient audience.
Okay.
You'll listen through.
Okay. Let's start.
I'm trying. They will. You're doing great.
Okay.
Nice.
On Spain, we are working. We are presenting the furniture. I don't like to say furniture because actually it's art in chairs, in sofas. Let's say furniture is
more than form and function.
Exactly.
That's inspiring.
Exactly.
So, and you mentioned preservation, and we met in January at the Collins Park Neighborhood Association with Mayor Ray Breslin, the founder of that organization. That's the Arts and Culture District near the 62-year-old Modern Art Bass Museum.
Yes.
And they've got this funky 60-something-year-old concrete rotunda. It's got an interior room inside, if I understood, because as a commercial real estate agent years ago, the city would occasionally put out, almost like an RFP, like what's the best use? And I wanted to bring in my favorite local artist, Lebo, and he and I talked about him providing classes and whatnot. Now they're expanding it. So the trouble in the interior was, I think there's no bathroom and there's no real good functionality, that they closed it up decades ago. And we're left with this funky looking, cool, concrete, almost brutalist architecture, except for that the concrete panels designed by Albert Vrana have like a 3D effect to them, and you guys were tasked out with their sand blasted concrete, 2-ton, I believe, and then you guys were tasked out with restoring that while you worked alongside of McCary Architects that was doing the expansion beyond the Rotunda building itself, which is probably about 5,000 or 6,000 feet. Then they added an extension to it, And I guess you said that the construction team that was contracted is their AVR Construction. So the three of you, along with Miami Beach Capital Improvements Department, they go around the city and they do infrastructure, or in this case, they restored this historic piece.
Beauty.
Victor,
Yes.
tell us how you earned that contract to be the team that's, refurbishing this weather-worn concrete. Tell us a little bit about earning the business and then how you teamed up and made the magic in cleaning it up.
Ok, lo primero fue hacer una visita al lugar, ver en las condiciones que se encontraban estos paneles, que era en un porciento muy, muy grave, no podría decir dañado, sino grave estructuralmente.
Quick translation.
Yes,
Por favor.
the first, we are vendors from the city since years ago, so we
You are a known entity already.
Yes,
Yeah.
we receive a
Anytime you
call.
go to the municipality, that helps, yeah.
We receive a call from the contractors, AVR contractors,
The email.
that actually they are the contractor who is doing the entire restoration of the
Right.
project. Mac Harry is the architect who designed,
Designing, yeah.
and they doing the construction, the restoration. They call us as many vendors, our vendors. Victor goes. For me, I don't know. He just go, wash up and stairs, see everything, and he say, "I can do that. I can do that." So
Sí, AVR estuvo buscando una compañía o un estudio de arte que pudiera llevar a cabo este tipo de proyectos, que era todo un reto, porque es todo un reto. Son 164 paneles estructurales de concreto, más zancas, que es el frente, que son esta parte artística con volúmenes exteriores.
yes, actually, AVR was finding in our studio that actually knew how to do this kind of job because was mix art and construction both. So it's because those 164 panels are from on the back is concrete, and in the front is sandcast. The artist made the art. Uh, I mean, sitting on the wall. On in front of the wall, doing the art. Just to let you know, Albert Brana, the artwork it names History of Man. Actually, if you see the details, it's amazing.
I've
It's
never stopped to think and smell those roses.
Yes.
And look at it, almost like, in the Catholic Church, you got the 12 stages of the crucifixion.
It's beautiful.
He's got the history of man, you said?
No, the artwork names is History of Man, and it is related with the history of man, relationship with the generations, evolutions. It's a really for us. It's a really nice artwork.
Yeah.
That was not visualized.
Right.
Was like a hide in Collins and 22.
Right. It's so central to
Yes.
that city. The location of Collins Park is basically the bottleneck that leads from South Beach to Mid Beach, which is kind of our single family home residences, Mount Sinai, where half of your family were born.
Yes.
The other half born in Cuba.
Yes.
We'll get to that in a moment. And but yeah, it's kind of this, for our generation, this awkward, dated looking piece that you've renewed my interest to go and stop and look at this artwork. It's not a painting or a mural or anything like that, because it's one color, and tone on tone gets lost often. But that's really special.
Yes.
So you guys are renovating it. You're working towards I think a historic designation as
Yes.
well, collectively, or maybe you guys are taking charge of that with the city's help, I hope.
Sí, en VAS Art Productions tratamos que cuando vamos a hacer una restauración, lo primero que tenemos en cuenta es respetar el proceder del artista. teniendo en cuenta los materiales usados, el tipo de técnica que él utilizó y a su vez tratar de que su composición no cambie al final de esta restauración,
Sí.
sino que se mantenga auténtica y tratar de dar esos años que se fueron, producto de la erosión, de la ubicación que tiene ella, que está frente al mar. Vivimos en la Florida, tenemos ciclones, el tiempo aquí es bien complicado, ¿no?
Traduzco. In VAS, in the conservation and restoration services, the main, principal value of Victor there is not to change the design of the idea of the artist. For us, that's the principal thing.
Of course. I think most artists want to respect that
respect the artist, the art. So it gets a little tricky. I mean, a little hard to work on that in that place because some moments the modern time it came like, hey, let's change this, and Victor said no, this is what artists did, and we are going to conserve and restore. That's it. So
sí, es un poco difícil. Es un poco difícil cuando tienes que tratar con instituciones que pueden tener la idea o algo de conocimiento de proceder a este tipo de restauraciones. Y a veces existen sugerencias o ideas para poder llevar a cabo esto, que a veces el que está de este lado haciendo la restauración, si tenemos un conocimiento de ello, no podemos permitir que se cambie la obra concedida por el artista a su totalidad. Exacto. Desde la estructura hasta los materiales utilizados y su montaje final en cuanto a la seguridad, porque está expuesta. ¿Perdón? No, sorry, porque está expuesta al público. Ha sido bien difícil, pero lo llevamos a cabo.
Yes, some client came with an idea of what they want, but since they are not really involved in our side on conservation and restoration and fabrication of sculptures, art in general, we try to let them know and explain them about why it's not able to do as they wanted to do, and we need to explain about materials. Everything is, it gets hard as usually with some clients, but at the end, luckily, we have the CIP department was the best one at the end. We worked together. The contractor, CIP department, the engineer that is from was a camera that he belonged before to O'Donnell Design Studio. Sorry if it's not the full name. It's a engineer studio that was the one who inspected us, who worked with us. He was amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, he did a really good job. We learned from him. He learned from us.
Cool. That's
actually,
a great experience.
Yes. So it was a mutual learning, let's say,
sí,
but challenge.
Este proyecto se pudo llevar a cabo con este éxito que ha tenido en cuanto a una terminación prácticamente perfecta. Me gustaría decir perfecta. Gracias sobre todo al apoyo de la ciudad de Miami Beach, al contrato que teníamos VAS, al ingeniero Canra, que le agradecemos mucho su experiencia, y que si teníamos algo que debatir, lo debatíamos desde el conocimiento y la calma, no desde tomar decisiones, ¿cómo decirte?
Desde el ego,
¿no? No desde el ego, sino decisiones de corazonadas, sino desde un pensamiento, desde tener en cuenta todo lo que hizo este artista para que esta obra esté expuesta de manera monumental en la ciudad de
The
Miami
yeah,
Beach.
the project was like he was telling a learning from all the parts, and not all the projects in institutional project like this one is like smooth like this one, as I see, as we have seen before, because usually the contractor wants to do a thing, the engineer another one, and the artist another one, and everybody's stuck. Here, no, we fluid. You know, I mean, everything was
Yeah.
fluid. We learned from, as I told you, from each other. It was a really nice project that we are really proud of. Victor doesn't want to say it's perfect, but is the quality is amazing.
Right.
You will see it. He will be. This project will be the opening of the rotunda is at the end of this of March.
That's crazy.
Yes.
So I have to attest to what you're stating about working with capital improvements, which is so highly respected and appreciated in the city. I'm a resident of Miami Beach, and we see the diligence that they put in. So I imagine they were good to work with, and like you said, most municipalities don't really have their act together. And then for you to have an architect, a construction team, your engineers,
Yes.
your colleagues from tech, and I think we had the McCary's ribbon ceremony maybe a year ago or so. This
Yes.
is only like maybe 18 months total,
Yes.
and that's pretty quick for. I mean, I've never seen a building like this. I'm not always looking, but like it's not. We're just not doing blocks and bricks. It's this unique, funky structure, and you guys got to be a part of that. So, how might you take this to the next level for future restoration projects? I imagine you could even be interested globally, not just South Florida. With this feather in your cap, notch on your belt, what might be next for VAS Art Productions in terms of major restoration projects that are important for the art and architecture world?
Bueno, en este momento pertenecemos al grupo de restauradores del estado de la Florida y de conservación de todo el estado de la Florida. Tenemos en estos momentos una serie de proyectos que están en función a ejecutar, en espera de aprobaciones, como es todo el proceso institucional que lleva. Y a su vez estamos cumpliendo con compromisos ya que teníamos antes, que debemos cumplir antes de
Deadlines.
de
Some
abril,
deadlines.
de
Yes.
abril. Tenemos que terminar algunos compromisos que teníamos. Y si todo va bien, a lo mejor nos vamos a Daytona o nos vamos a Tampa a hacer algún tipo de restauraciones de mosaico. El tema de este tipo de restauración va a ser una restauración de mosaico a una escala monumental. Y bueno, sí, proyectos tenemos.
Yes.
Yeah.
By cooking, let's say we want to, even do you think it's global? We need in step by step. Remember, we are just open since 5 years ago. We are a young company trying to go into the art
Very hot.
world. Here,
of course,
there
yeah.
are many companies that are already sit and paste. I mean, that I mean, how do you say? Compañías que ya están asentadas en su
Yeah,
en su
company
puesto.
we have here in Miami, maybe
In
20
Florida.
years, 25 years,
Exactly.
you know.
With some name.
Who is this guy, Victor?
Who is VAS?
You know,
Who is VAS?
Who is the guy?
Yes.
So, es muy difícil, ha sido muy difícil crear confianza en los clientes, pero por suerte nuestro trabajo ha dado resultados muy positivos en los cuales ya nos miran con otros ojos, ya somos más aceptados y
we're
creo
not.
que nuestro trabajo hablaba por sí solo.
Yes.
Sobre todo el team que tenemos, que es un team muy profesional. Todos son artistas, restauradores, cualificados y estudiados. Y creo que sí, que nos va a ir muy bien. que vamos a seguir adelante.
We are, yes. We want to move forward with some deadlines that we have before. Remember, this project was like a year. We finished early. Amazing. Thanks to AVR. Thank you. We finished early in 10 months. Our part of the general project, and we are cooking. I mean, since that we are receiving many requests for proposals from another cities, counties, state of Florida. But you know, institutional thing, it takes the time. So it's time, paperwork, everything, and at the same time, Victor is finishing, closing some previous projects, project that he had, the team had on, you know, on the
Right.
on the way. So we need to close those projects, and at the end we start again. But we want to keep going with the restoration. We want to restore the culture of Florida. That's our.
So I'm going to end up asking my audience and asking you guys, more importantly, like, you know, at the end, I want the audience to know a little bit more about the work that you guys are doing and the art that you're creating. And then towards the end, we're going to ask the audience help to get you to that next restoration project, whether it's networking among fellow contractors or artists or municipalities or whoever needs your services on restoration of large, beautiful projects like that. But tell us a little bit more about your fabrication warehouse, and you know, I'm sure you do a lot of on-site stuff, but you're a sculpture artist.
Yeah.
In fiberglass.
Yes.
Correct. And looking over your mentor Olivier's, I think his Instagram and some of your website, there's some pretty shiny objects in there. Am I wrong? Tell me about the fiberglass. Maybe that was his work, but. And again, I'm going to try to overlay both the Collins Park Rotunda as well as the you guys pulling your 2-ton.
Let's talk about this. This is a really important thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, the sculpture side. Either one. If you want to finish up on the Collins Park Rotunda, we can talk about that.
Okay.
And then get into your sculpture work, which seems to be
Sí.
passion.
Vamos a terminar con la rotonda, ¿quieres?
Sí, primero me gustaría terminar con la rotonda.
Sí.
I'd like to finish the rotonda first. Ok, para poder levantar 1 ton, all the team, o todo el equipo nos reunimos y diseñamos una máquina de extracción que pudiera soportar 1 tonelada de peso y que a su vez tuviera la gentileza de poder entrar y no destruir el Sancas.
Déjame decirlo rápido.
Okay.
Okay. One of the most challenging parts here was how to take out each panel without damaging. Even, I mean, it's a really old it's an old building with panels that never were out from that wall. So it was a really it was a challenge, that part. But we are I have artists on my team. All of them are artists, restorators, artists. I mean, really good one that came from Cuba, masters also. All like they sit and they say, okay, what can we do? And they design and fabricate in metal a tool. It's not a machine. It's a tool that you will see in some place, to take out each panel with a gentle way, and actually in a strong way to take out 1 ton, 2,000 pounds, let's say, from the wall.
Right. I can't wait for the audience to see that.
Yes.
It's cool.
And the space is very close.
And the thing is, you all had no idea how it was done until you had the 3D rendering, and you just think what do they call that? They re-engineer, like the tech guys will, they're steel technology, and so you guys had to do it that way, backwards or whatever, right? That's amazing.
Even the fire guys, right? Is fire guy?
¿Cuál?
Los bomberos.
Yeah.
The fire team passed by once and they say, we were asking, how did you do this? How you will take out those panels
Yeah, our
from
fire
the wall.
department headquarters
Yes.
is like a block away, and
Those-
Yeah,
those
about
kids,
the, about
yes.
the, the space there between the panel
It's
Yeah.
nothing
is half the inch.
yeah,
So it's very difficult
to take out.
to try to put it in first,
right.
not destroy the panel, sorry, no destroy the panel. When you go outside, there's safety to the
The
people
safety.
too.
Of course,
Exactly.
More
Man.
important
These are
here,
huge
the
monoliths.
safety.
Yes.
For me, the safety is the first.
Yeah, of
You
course.
know,
Yeah.
my team, we
It's
need
the first.
everybody safe.
Exactly.
Well, congratulations on re-engineering or whatever the back engineering it. That's amazing.
Yes.
It was probably really fun. You probably had some high fives and some champagne toasting or something. To be a fly on the wall watching you guys work would have
Yes.
been pretty cool.
Yes, actually, the neighbors know us without knowing. Some people just met me. Hey, Victor.
Yeah, I don't
Victor
know.
didn't
It's
know.
Victor.
Nobody. Even Ray. Ray already know for sure. He knows about the project. So all the neighborhood was helping to
Sí.
to this project. Nobody get claim of the music of my artist singing. So it was a really good project
Trabajamos en
in
silencio.
general. Exacto, acabo de decir. In general, but was a 164 panel one by one with that metal tool taken down, putting on some stage place, and then restore it. I mean, in some phases, and then put it back again one by one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you need to sing in other trick to mounting again.
exactly. Another
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
exactly.
But now it's restored,
Right.
And now you need to put it clean, perfect.
Makes you think too back to prehistoric times when you got the pyramids and Stonehenge and like what? How? Maybe there are aliens before us that installed this.
It's true. It's true. Also, this rotunda, since we didn't know any drawing, nothing
Yeah,
about
it's
how it was built, we find out that when we take out the first panel, it was some channels between both in Cooper. So this is another thing that we need to restore the Cooper, the Cooper channel. Actually, the engineer in that on those years
No, nobody
were
see this.
massive,
No
amazing.
existía.
Hmm.
The six, or when you pick it up, you say, hey, what is that?
And on the 60s, unbelievable.
Yeah.
But they did
Yeah,
it.
right.
They did a really good job. They did
That's
that
cool.
job.
Yeah, this is the master of them.
Yes.
I call you master, but it's the master of the brother.
And the architect.
This man sing when the year pass
Yeah,
to this mountain.
exactly. He think on us
Very smart.
how
Very
we should
smart.
take out. Yes, very smart team. The architect, the engineers, and the artists.
And
as
now
well
you've
over
got
there.
it documented
Yes.
for future, maybe restoration, another 60 years or what have you. So, the other interesting thing about your restoration and McCary Associates extension of the VAS Art is in charge of operating the Collins Park Rotunda, and they've got it's going to be like an art space in there for young students,
Yes,
right? Because
yes.
they already do art in the park at Collins Park. I think on a monthly basis, if not more often. Those of you that can't recognize Collins Park, you might know it for the multicolored, I think it's almost pastel colored boulders that are stacked on top of each other. They're almost like world famous.
Yes.
It's one of the more Instagrammable shots around Miami Beach. And if you don't know Miami Beach well enough, it's particular South Beach, it's full of shiny objects. When I
Yes.
first moved here 9 years ago, my mentor and broker, Keith Darby at Rise Realty, shout out, some of the first warnings, he said, beware of shiny objects, not specifically, the roses in the field, but it could be the women, it could be the sports, it could be the boating, or whatever it might be. Miami has so many distractions, and in Miami Beach in particular, very pedestrian, walkable city, but I guarantee millions of people walk by that rotunda and give it no thought, but you earned one art fan that's going to go and look at the work, the Albert Verana, and I'm going to spend time with it like I'm in a museum, looking at a portrait, and so I'm excited about that and sharing it both with my audience and some of my pedestrian friends. I happen to be the office broker nearby for 2 years. At Palm Court, it's 100-year-old. This is the 100th anniversary. It's a Mediterranean-style architecture. Still working on some office and retail restaurant projects there for the landlord there. He's on the board at the Collins Park Neighborhood Association, Ron Bloomberg. Shout out. And the other cool thing that the Collins Park Neighborhood Association did was set up, believe it's monthly jazz sessions in Desi Arnaz pedestrian way. So right next to the ballet school, it's a true arts district. And Desi Arnaz, if you that know I Love Lucy, went to high school. Do you guys know this?
No.
You know who Desi Arnaz? Lucy, I'm home. Desi Arnaz went to Miami Beach High School, like 2 blocks from your rotunda. And I learned, I was listening to NBR. They were doing an interview of either family or something. He worked, I think, at age like 15 or 16. I think he worked at the Fontainebleau as a young man. So he's Cuban, right? Cuban American, probably the most famous. Is he not Cuban? Desi Arnaz? He was the band leader from I Love Lucy. We're not that far apart. You guys might be millennials. I'm Gen X. We all watch the same.
We are not millennium. We are similar. Like you. No. We are not millennium. That's
so. But this might lead us into what I love about this Collins Park block, because I've been more traditional South Beach, south of Lincoln Road, and didn't really find my way north of Lincoln too often. I would go to the Symphony a few blocks away, and but I've almost discovered Collins Park as the One Hotel, the W Hotel, and the Setai. There's all these, the beach polo, Miami Beach Polo. So they have horses out on the sand like a block away. And Collins Park neighborhood has this jazz fest. I feel like the VAS Arts extension of this rotunda is going to become a new anchor hub for the community to come out, especially families, children, modern art lovers, aspiring artists that can utilize this rotunda and its extension. I mean, there's like a rectangular portion because the 2,000 feet was too small with no bathrooms and so on. So it's a standalone structure now under VAS Arts control. And who knows, maybe I can help you guys negotiate the vision that you've got for VAS Art, the nonprofit. So can you lead into that a little bit unless, Victor, did you have anything to say about where you see the rotunda really being a living part of Collins Park now? Either one of you.
¿Cómo la ves?
And then I want to hear about the foundation.
¿Cómo la ves como parte?
La rotonda.
Del arte, o sea, Collins Park es un art district, es un distrito de arte, está considerado. Y bueno, for us, we are one. It will be a main part of this district. You will see it. ¿No crees?
Creo que la rotonda forma parte de la ciudad de Miami Beach.
Sí, del distrito de Collins Park.
De Collins Park.
De arte, sí. También.
Es una obra monumental que solo al pasar, o si estás visitando la ciudad, ¿cómo decirte? Estructuralmente es monumental, tienes que verla y es digna de observación. Primero que todo por sus dimensiones, su volumetría, es una obra digna de admirar para residentes y visitantes. No te cansas de admirarla, de verla diariamente. Trabajé en ella y en la mañana cuando salgo a patinar, vivimos en la 71 y en la mañana salgo en skate, past the from.
And keep watching and loving it.
Todos los días no me canso de verla.
Yes.
Y pensar de que esto lo llevamos a cabo nosotros nos alegra mucho y nos da mucha confianza para seguir adelante.
I got to tell you, I didn't understand the Spanish, but I understood the passion. You can see it in your eyes, Victor.
Yes.
That
All right.
You see where architecture, building is brick and mortar, or in this case, concrete, and the art in the community.
Sandcast.
They go all together. So thank you, but can I hear it in English as well?
For sure, no, for sure. This building, maybe it was before, let's say, in a dark place, but you will see that from now on, everybody will pass by and will wash. Even the neighborhood, the people who live by, will see today some detail that tomorrow we'll see another. Hey,
Yeah,
I never
yeah, yeah.
see that one. The another one. I mean, it's a fine art work. I mean, actually, it's an outdoor museum for us, and we are really proud of what we did for the
Right.
community.
Right.
Actually, because
You
it's
should be.
it's amazing. It's a huge building. Even it's not Art Deco. Doesn't matter. Just George Neri is really proud of this building as well, of this
George
restoration.
Nettie was the architect.
No. George Neri is the preservation, the
Okay.
person who was in charge in the preservation history museum.
Okay.
¿Sabes cuál es? No. Do you know? George Neri was the president.
Wolfsonian Museum?
No. The Preservation League. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah,
Preservation
yeah, yeah.
George Neri is
Did he found it?
no he
Is George the gent? He's always got the sparkle Miami Beach hat.
yes.
Hey, George.
Hey, hi George. He is for
He's
us.
a lovable character.
He's a
yeah,
master
Yeah.
in history. Actually, we
Yeah.
invite him. Yes, we are invite him to write in a book that we
Cool.
are that
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
creating.
Got this book coming out.
Related. I mean, since we saw the need of the community, even seniors around the, I mean, in the neighborhood, they want to learn about the artist, how it was made, what it was not open since years ago, and the kids. This new generation is going so fast. Everything is like this, and we have kids, and we are seeing that their friends doesn't care about art, just care about football,
Yes.
baseball,
They
and
will.
so
You
we
can grow
want
into
to.
it. You can be a
Yes.
late bloomer, like some of us.
That's our
We try.
goal. That's why we create a foundation related. I mean, we want to give tools to the community how to preserve or how to learn about the history, the art. I mean, the history of the art in their place on where they live. Somebody live here and doesn't know what it means. That is sculpture. That is on the corner. Who is the artist? Why he did that? The name, the importance of the art in their neighborhood, let's say, and how I can help to preserve that. That's why we create first a foundation. I mean, it's a startup. Let's say its name is a VAS Art Legacy Foundation. We are on the way to. We are building it. I mean, it takes time. It's a non-profit. And our first and main project will be to create, to print and present the Rotunda book. We are going to put on paper, on a book, what we did. I mean, the history, the everything, the history, the way, a little bit about VAS, who is VAS that did this restoration artwork, and the way we did it with pictures, with detail, the restoration process, the dismounting, the 3D, everything. We want to give the new people, the youngest one, tools to preserve. the history of the culture.
Quisiera
Well, I
Let's
look
say.
forward to the
say.
book. Can I make a couple playful recommendations? Can we make it a rotunda book, a coffee table, so it'll be in the shape, it'll be round instead of
Okay.
square pages, right? And then let's make it pop up so that the children can see it pop up. Remember the old pop up books? So we've got the public library right there.
Will
A
be free.
perfect venue for
Yes.
checking books out,
Yes,
and
yes.
it could be a coloring and illustration book. Like if you colored up the artist's sand casted, kids, how would you do this?
Yes.
Anyway, it's beautiful, fun connection that you guys are doing, and then and so the VAS Art Legacy Foundation it's in the works. And the audience is going to want to help you, right?
Please.
I want to help you.
Thank you. Really
and you
appreciate
mentioned-
it.
Sería de gran ayuda porque con el financiamiento de este libro, por ejemplo, lo estamos haciendo de nosotros mismos, de nuestro presupuesto privado, lo estamos financiando con nuestro dinero, lo cual sería alguna ayuda si alguien nos ayudara, ¿no? A poder hacer más impresiones, porque la idea por el momento no es vender este libro, sino que jóvenes o niños tengan el acceso gratuito a este libro. Free.
Yeah,
you know?
a free book.
The free book.
I saw the free book and I get it, and I'm concerned for you.
Yes.
All right.
We are doing it.
No,
as
and I
say.
say, have you done free publications in the past?
No.
Yeah.
No. We are doing this because we don't want to charge anything for learning, for art. We are doing it with our own budget, personal budget.
Yeah.
For now, the first books that we are going to do. But we want to present, our dream is to present, sorry, Bas, but we want to present this book in the Rotunda, on the mark, on the book fair.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
On the at that time, even
Right, Miami-Dade College,
yes.
downtown Miami.
On the same date, but in the Rotunda. That's our dream.
Okay. Okay,
Same date, but just on the Rotunda. Just present
Yeah, that'd
the
be cool.
book.
That's coming up in a couple months, I think.
No, it's October or
Is it October?
November.
Yeah,
we have
okay.
time, so
Good.
there's enough
But
time.
you have the opening at the Rotunda at the end of the month?
The city will have their own. We are invited, but the VAS has the opening. We are not opening anything.
Right,
they're
yeah.
both. We are invited,
Right.
and the VAS is opening on the 28th in the picnic. It's like a.
It's such a great picnic park.
We have never been there on that picnic.
No.
We are going
And
to
your
be there.
children are the age for that, because they almost always have art in the park with
It's
the
really
kids,
fun.
crafts and stuff. And last year I attended Ray and his twin brother's birthday celebration.
Yes.
It was exactly a year ago, February, and the people come out. It's great. It's a great community that you guys have been a part of a long time, and you're still building our community.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
You were going to say, Victor?
Ya, y una de las cosas que VAS Legacy Foundation quisiera que lo queremos tener en cuenta de manera muy importante sería la relación de los jóvenes con los que ya son mayores.
With the seniors, John and senior together.
You know, that relation, esa relación es muy importante porque se ha perdido mucho el respeto al adulto ya a la vez que empieza a envejecer, ¿no?
Uh-huh.
Y no se le toma en cuenta de la manera que se le debería de tomar en cuenta a la persona ya adulta. Y nos gustaría rescatar esa parte sensible del niño a la persona adulta que tiene la experiencia ya vivida, que le puede aportar mucho a ese niño, de una manera exterior a su hogar. No sé si me hago
See,
entender.
one of our dreams on the foundation, beside the book will be the first one, the printing and the presentation. But then we want to get involved, kids youngest with the seniors in the community, creating and preserving art. In many ways, we have many ideas on projects that we want to launch because it's getting lost the respect for the senior person, the old person, because it's just old and it's not right. So we want to, how can I say, through the art, we want to both generation get involved. The emotional part of create, the senior has the knowledge, the experience on life, and the kids has the happiness,
Their own creativity.
exactly. So there are many projects that we want to work. Even in the city of Miami Beach, it's a really good place because we have seen even the city do project for the seniors.
All the
not
time.
not all the cities has that.
No,
And I
yeah,
found
that's a
out
good point.
yes.
Our city leaders, our elected officials are
Mhm.
very cognizant of our
Yes.
senior citizens,
Yes.
whether it's their senior center or their housing.
Yes.
And I agree with you. Our culture, our Western culture, doesn't express enough respect or time or attention or appreciation to seniors just in passing. I think that's a great
Exactly.
advocacy that you're building. And there's a disconnect for the youth generation that might just be online and like there's we're not listening to stories around the dinner table or what have you. And then to playfully reference Pablo Picasso, what was his famous line that he said towards the end of his life? Do you recall?
No.
Do you know? So
I don't remember right now, but I should
Pablo
know.
Picasso
Okay.
said something along the lines of, "You work your entire life to become this, highly skilled artist, only to realize in your 80s you're actually been trying to capture what you had at age 3." Or
Yeah.
something along those
Yeah,
lines.
something like that.
It's something
I understand.
similar. Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
So we want. That's our base on the foundation. It is that relationship, and we want to preserve the history of the art.
Right.
So we want to do that, as I was telling you in the Rotunda book, in the presentation. The project, it means printing, that we are just starting with the first part. Personally, we are going to the foundation. We are going to create this project through the foundation to receive funds from institutions, sponsors, private person who wants to help us as well.
Y
Audience,
brindarle,
are you listening?
Yes,
We need
no.
some help.
We have really beautiful people who will write, important people. Our madrina, how do you say?
okay.
Grants.
Our first, no, how do you say
Sí.
the a la
Siempre,
madrina?
siempre agradecerle a Marcela Novela.
Yes.
Fue,
You know her? Yes, you
fue
should.
la primera persona que confió en VAS. The
Yes.
first person to
Who trust in VAS?
trust
Yes.
VAS.
How do you say madrina?
I don't know.
Hold
The
on.
grandfather is the padrino. I don't
No,
know
no, no.
in English.
No,
The grandmother is the padrina, right?
no.
Okay.
Hold on. She's-
Marcela Novela. Eh,
We want. We are always
But
grateful.
you have to go pick up the kid and have
Yes.
40 minutes.
Yes. We no. We Marcela is our grandmother. No, grandfather is okay. Grandmother. I don't like. Is the person who is on top of you. Is not your mother. Is not your father. Is the person that is not your family. How do you say? Grandmother.
Godmother.
God. Oh my God.
Godmother?
Godmother,
Cat.
Godfather.
Cat again.
yeah, I call you. Like
Yes, we want.
We'll make that into a short
Please,
of us
please.
struggling through our Spanish.
Please, I'm so sorry with my English.
No, please.
On the book,
But like a patron of the arts, a benefactor.
No. Okay.
Al conductor.
Almost not that she's commissioning, but she's
yeah.
fostering your
Yes.
nonprofit.
No. Marcela, no, was the art. Was the first client who trusts in VAS Art Productions.
Ah.
The first one.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
trusts
when
in us.
my master say, hey, go.
Cool.
She was the one.
Fly.
So for us, she's our good mother.
Right.
So we want her in the book. She has a big experience in the art world.
Okay.
So she knows what we did. She's really proud of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcela.
So she's one of the persons that we want to invite to write in the book. Ray Presley.
Yes, right, of course.
Because he knows the importance of this building in the community, in your place. I mean, in that park, in the neighborhood, for the neighbor, in general, how important it is. So, and for us, he has been a really important person with his kindness and lovely way to help us in many ways. We are really thankful for that.
I appreciate that.
And we really appreciate the award that we received on the association and many things. So you will see us when we got the presentation. We will have at the same time a documentary, a short film related with all the process.
Right.
In the is the book in a film, in a short film, let's say. We want to put it there. Also, some drawing from our artists when they were making the tool.
Wow.
Janet.
As well. So
Exciting.
yes, everything will be there. Thank you.
Podría decir algo más pequeño. Me gustaría agradecerle a nuestro equipo de trabajo,
Sí.
a todos en general, por haber tenido la seriedad y la bondad de llevar a cabo este proyecto de una manera increíble. Y quisiera aprovechar este momento para agradecerle a cada uno de los muchachos.
We want to say
Muchas
thank
gracias de
you.
verdad a todos.
We want to say we want to say thank you to our team and our friends who help us, but especially our team, because with their professionalism and kindness, we did a great job. We did it right, and we are really proud of it, of our team, in many ways. I mean, in the personal way, in the professional way, we mix everything, and we got it. We did it right. Even we are the youngest in the art world here in Miami. We are professionals, and we want to keep going like that.
Y agradecerte a ti porque nos hayas
And
invitado
thanks
a
to
tu
you,
podcast.
for sure.
Well, no, it's my pleasure. And again, congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
I hope that your next restoration projects of this size can be as challenging, as fun, and as rewarding in terms of feeling confident that you've delivered. Because I look forward to patronizing Collins Park more often in the Rotunda building. And I welcome my audience out there, whether it's jazz nights or art in the park, or even entering the VAS Art Museum that will be facilitating, which is a wonderful space in its 62nd year. So I do want to ask a bit about your family heritage before we sign off and have you go pick up the children, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then ask how our audience might help you directly most of our talk today, thankfully, was on the Collins Park Rotunda, which is directly aligned with some of my projects, being the office broker a block away. And we are always selling placemaking. Like, why do you want your office here? Well, here's why. And then we share a dozen different things. When that block, there's literally the beach is 2 blocks away, something we didn't even mention. We act like that's like a non-factor, but there's so much sexiness to South Beach beyond the people.
Yes.
And I'm the current co-chairman of the Real Estate Council in the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce, And we are inclusive of construction, like AVR. Hopefully they'll come and get involved with us at our chamber, and developers. So I recognize that Miami Beach is famous for its Art Deco from nearly 100 years ago, roughly, right? And then the rest of the architecture isn't really celebrated, and construction is just kind of like an afterthought to the consumer mind that might be installing this beautiful architectural rendering. And it's the men and women that are out there in the hard hats and the boots, and they're doing the labor work. Well, you got the artisans and whatnot. So I designed our chamber and our city's first living history of architecture, construction, and development with a double-decker bus tour a year ago. And I made sure, after I met the McCary Associates designers for the Rotunda extension, and the VAS Art came out. The Anamar residency is half a block from you all. That's a brand new workforce apartment building that just got fully leased. Shout out Brewster Knott. Congratulations. He's the leasing agent there. Called me last week when I was here. That's where the ballet school dormitory is as well. So we had 3 buildings. My Palm Court 100-year office building was humbly like, hey, let's wave and look at Palm Court and come back next year. And I'd like to, I don't know if I'm going to do this with the chamber or not, but I want to bring the bus tour back through. We hit up 8 new construction sites across 2 miles of South Beach within 2 hours or less, which is another extension that's happening is the Holocaust Memorial, maybe 5 blocks from you all.
Yeah.
And our city residents had voted on, the citizens had voted to expand and take over a parking lot so that the Holocaust Memorial and the story of that tragedy can be shared in a comparable workspace, I'll call it. So they have like they have another rectangular extension, kind of like VAS Art and Capital Improvements McCary did with the Rotunda. So they'll have interactive, and that's opening similar time.
In the Holocaust?
Yeah.
We didn't.
The Holocaust Memorial started there, and then we hit up the Rotunda with you all and the Anamar. And then we went over to look at some land for development. We had a sponsor do that. And then hit up 5 Park is the new luxury 2-year-old condo buildings that replaced the South Shore Hospital right as you come. So that was special. We got the project manager did a presentation on that. Then over to the 18th Sunset is the second Class A office building in Miami Beach. And then across, and it's obviously in Sunset Harbor, and the other one is the Starwood Capitol building. Is a 5-year-old Class A office building, a block from your Rotunda.
Okay.
So there's hubs here. Maurice Gibb Park, where your children need to go play if they haven't yet. Just opened last April. The Bee Gees, Maurice Gibb.
Which one?
It's
Sorry.
at Sunset. You know where they had the Sunset Yacht Club, Sunset Harbor. You know,
We have been there 2 weeks ago, and we say this place needs sculptures. We went there. We went
well, they
there.
got the green space. Yeah.
We went there, and
they'd have to be musical because it's named after Maurice Gibb, who spent
beautiful place.
Yeah,
beautiful.
But their slide is like a saxophone, and they got a guitar.
I know that one.
How cool is that?
No, that one, yes. So I got confused with the Sure Deal one.
There's a few. I mean, our city of Miami Beach is really. There's Bayshore Park.
Bayshore.
That just opened in October.
That one.
Which is the former 9-hole golf course. So that's acres.
Amazing.
And they've got a little water canal type thing. But
very good job.
These are all within when I mentioned these handful of things, VAS Art and everything, the Starwood Capitol, the ocean. We have stuff within 2 blocks of Collins Park. It's including the convention center. And we have the hotel is coming online next November. So I would like to keep replicating and celebrating the living history of new, fresh architecture or restorations, honoring the construction staff that are out there, and experience behind the scenes. some of what you guys see, not just the after effects of like, suddenly there's this $1 billion luxury condo building here, but the behind the scenes. So thank you for the floor there. It's been so lovely to talk to you guys. What about your family? 2 Cubans and 2 American boys?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
One 8 and the other
4, almost 5.
Okay, 8 and 5, and name the oldest. How do we name the oldest son?
Bian and Senem.
The oldest is Vian.
The other is Bian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vian
It's
came.
artist
This
too,
is-
Bian.
Vian is the artist.
Suspended irony, because this audience knows.
Yes, Vian came. Vian is an artist.
And you named Vian is
Vian came from
Victor
Victor.
and Anabel.
The letters from Victor and Anabel, we mix it, and actually it's not a uncommon. It's an uncommon name that it came from the Latin, and it means full of life. Actually, when we find out, wow, this is him, and actually, it's a beautiful boy.
Yeah.
He's full of life, and
Nice.
he's full of creativity.
That's great.
The youngest one, as all the second kids, is the crazy one, but it's a beautiful boy,
It's
sweet, amazing. And now we have a third, the girl, that is the puppy.
Come on.
That it means in English was Bonnie, as Bonnie and Clyde. We adopted
No
from
way.
a rescue, but we switched it to a Latin way, Bonnie from Bonita. That it means beautiful.
Yeah, of course.
Bonita is just
what
Bonnie.
breed? This is what I always told you. Don't tell me the breed yet. I want to hear.
Yeah.
I love dogs.
We just want to.
Do you know what breed, a species or whatever, of dog?
It's a mix. It came
A bit of a mutt.
His mom is a Bisla, and his dad, we are trying to find out with the ADN, but now
It's adopted.
it should be a
We're not
pointer.
judgy here. You could, she could be
No.
like-
We want to do a good thing for the dog as well, but for my kid, for our kids as
That's good
well.
age. Oh my gosh.
Since we have dogs, since we were babies at home in Cuba, we want them to have the same. Both kids are in love with the puppy. Actually, she's beautiful. She's amazing. And now
Let me ask you something. I have a friend, Jeremiah, I play baseball with. He's the coach of our team, and he just had us voting. We were trying to stack the votes on some national competition for, I think, he said it's a Cuban heritage dog, the only dog indigenous to your island. Habanese? Right?
El habanero, el habanero, el que es
It's like a
curly,
little white,
it's a
fluffy
little one.
guy.
Yes, ¿cómo se
Pichón
llama?
habanero.
Came in
Pichón.
second.
Yes,
Pichón habanero.
pichón habanero, pichón habanero, pichón
So he
habanero.
came in second.
Yes.
Shout out to Enzo.
Yes.
He's like our team mascot.
Yes.
Yes. So I could go on about family life and how you guys got here, but we're going to wrap things up with how can our audience help you next? We've got the VAS Art Legacy
Foundation.
With the book forthcoming, and then you're designing sculptures, right, for installation, let's say in the park or someone's home or office or what have you, as your core. That's your core career, I believe, and you're doing these restorations.
Yeah.
And you've got some furniture designs that are equal parts form, function, but like I feel like I'm it's like putting on a nice dress and feeling, but you're instead it's surrounded by this awesome, cool furniture. How can the audience, which are going to be mostly commercial real estate proponents and art, could be lay folks, how can we help?
Déjame decir un momento.
Okay.
VAS Art Production, just to be more or less to know, we are an art service company. Our main specialist master, he's master in fiberglass sculptures in enlargement from 0 to the installation. I mean, from nothing to all. The fiberglass, I don't know if you knew, is a really soft material that let the weather work. I mean, it can
That's
be
right. That's so
the
important in our
exactly
sea air that
in
destroyed
Florida.
my mountain bike like a few years.
In Florida, this
That's
is the
true.
best thing.
Yeah.
And
It's just the air.
exactly.
Yeah.
The salt, everything. It can be damaged. So he's master in fiberglass. At the same time, we do restoration work. We restore artworks in different materials. We fabricate also in metal, bronze, in many other. But our main is fiberglass. At the same time, we do installation, restoration, and conservation, historical conservation services.
Mosaico bizantino.
We Byzantine mosaics we do as well. It's a really nice part of our studio. This is VAS Art Productions, and we are working with developers as well in some projects that we are cooking because they want to give more value to their property. Architecture studios that they are selling a property, but they want to give that property an extra value. So that's when VAS go in. We do our own artwork sculptures, his own sculptures, or the client
Y que nos gusta que
ideas
el
as
cliente
well.
forme parte del proyecto también.
And we
Commission for a concept.
yes, and actually we want the client be involved with the project as well. Many times the client is the one who say, "Hey, I want this for my backyard." You know, so Victor go with him and I say, "See, yes, this one here on that side, that color." He give advice because he's the. I mean, he's
So
the
side,
best.
inside, from
Exactly.
water, it depends.
Exactly.
You know.
So when I'm paddleboarding along Biscayne Bay and some of the intercoastals there, and those are your sculptures that I see in some of these mansions' backyards.
It should be. It should be.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
Let's buy from
Pretty
VAS
sure.
Art.
Yeah, sure.
When when he was in Hallyu
Yeah.
as well, for sure.
That's great.
Yes.
Well, you guys get the last word if you wanted to say anything direct to the audience or, you know.
We want to say thank you to
Darle las
you
gracias a la audiencia del
and
caballero
the
acá
audience
por
to
invitarnos.
hear us for everything to the city of Miami Beach to give us the opportunity to the neighbors of
Enviar.
to the neighbors of the Collins Park, Ray. You for sure for keep going with us. Even we were, I mean, he was so tight. We were so tight in his schedule as well, and it gets busy for. I mean, but we did it. At the end, we did it, and we are going to have a really good relationship because for sure for the realtors area, we can do
Absolutely.
really
Great
good things
service to
for sure.
agents, and I see where developers would like
Exactly.
enhancing beyond the brick and mortar is like it's a
Yes.
turnkey lifestyle you're offering.
Exactly.
Let's say a residential client or an office client. So
We do fine art.
exactly, yeah. Well, again, thank you both.
Thank you.
Victor,
Thank you for invitation.
Anabel,
Thank you.
I
VAS
appreciate
Art
it.
Productions,
Thanks.
and we'll see you next time at the Commercial Real Estate Corner.
Thank you.
For joining.